Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to That's Football. That's all folks. Hello and welcome to That's Football. You're all very welcome. First Premier League game of the weekend and it's Leicester entertaining Manchester City without Erling Haaland. The Football Fantasy Premier League deal breaker for many of us. I've got him as captain, God knows what else. Lovely little bit of graphics there, look at that. Loving those little bit of graphics of the Man City kit. We're sponsored by True Classic t-shirts. You can get 25% off. I'm wearing them, absolutely fantastic t-shirts you can get that fit you really well in the key areas. I'll talk about True Classic t-shirts in a minute, but you can scan the QR code or go through the link in the video description. But looking forward to this game today. I mean, it was hard to pick a game to do as a watch-along this weekend because I'm not doing Leeds against Liverpool tonight at 7:45. It's Halloween weekend. I'm out. I'm going out. I'm going out with Jim White. Crunchy nut cornflakes with beer instead of milk. We're out tonight, but not for Jim. He doesn't like a drink. He's not been drinking for ages. Does fantastic. But I'll have a bit of beer tonight on a party. But look, Manchester United tomorrow against West Ham. And then we've got... there's not a lot to pick from today. I mean, there's a few 3 o'clock games. Bournemouth, Tottenham, Chelsea at Brighton, Crystal Palace, Southampton. But I actually do think that this game could bite because we've got no Erling Haaland. So a lot of people have been saying Man City without Erling Haaland. Well, let's see what Man City are like with Erling Haaland. So the team news is this. We've got Ward in goal for Leicester. Amate, Sionku, Faze, Castagne and Justin. Dewsbury Hall and Tillemans, Maddison, Vardy and Barnes. And Ndidi on the bench for Leicester these days. Man City, Edison, Akanji's at right back. John Stones, Laporte, Cancelo, Gundogan, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, Grealish and Alvarez. I mean, it's still a very strong Manchester City side. And as Ayush says, they won 5 Premier League titles without Haaland. What's your point? Oh, here we go. How long have you supported Man City, Ayush? Since last week? Do you engage your brain or do you just type away like a prat? They won the title with people like Jesus and Raheem Sterling who aren't there anymore. It is a relevant point to say, let's see what Man City are like without Erling Haaland, because they won those titles with people like Jesus and Sterling and they don't have them anymore. So it is a weakness of Man City to not have the best striker in the world at the moment. Of course it is. Stop trying to be a killjoy. Wout Weghorst plays for Leicester. Don't know much about him. Looks like David Luiz and Sionku's love child, really, but don't know much about him apart from that. Kevin De Bruyne versus Yuri Tillemans, says Quinton. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. I've never quit a watch-along before. I have quit a watch-along before. 70 minutes. All the watch-alongs I've done, I've never quit a watch-along apart from one, which was Arsenal-Chelsea in the FA Cup final, where Anthony Taylor destroyed it, and I said, life's too short, I'm not watching this shit. So, if Leicester are 3-0 down at half-time, I'm off for an early lunch. I ain't wasting my life watching it. But I'm hopeful. I'm giving Leicester a chance, and I'm giving the Premier League a chance to not make this a boring league where Man City just run away with it even without Erling Haaland. So it's on the line here. I know there's a bubbling frustration inside me. If Man City just destroy Leicester in this, I'm out. I'm absolutely out. So there we go. Let me just talk to you about our sponsor on the show today. If you were watching last night's Manchester United stand, you'll know all about the t-shirt I'm wearing. We're talking about True Classic t-shirts. Let's be honest, finding a perfect fitting shirt can be really hard. I can tell you from personal experience that not all t-shirts are the same. I've had mediums that are too tight, too big. We've all bought those t-shirts as well, where the top part is like it's cardboard. It's like bloody plain wings. There's just no definition to the t-shirt. Well, True Classic want to make a t-shirt that men look and feel great about. They design their shirts with a tighter fit in the chest and the sleeves to make you look better. And all their styles are super soft and at a great price. So it's a real no-brainer to give it a try. True Classic is more than a t-shirt company as well. They've got menswear staples like boxer shorts, polos, workout shirts, the lot. All incredibly comfortable and well-fitting. They make it super easy to build out your wardrobe and you'll get top-notch quality for a great value. And because True Classic are sponsoring the show, you can get an exclusive 25% discount delivered to your door with the code Goldbridge. Scan the QR code next to me or go through the link in the description. Thank you very much to True Classic for sponsoring the Watchalong. They really are very nice t-shirts, and you know, I'm a big advocate of this. Reasonably priced, 25% off, and just everyday t-shirts. They've just got, you know, like the plain black one I'm wearing here. They've just got some lovely t-shirts on the go, and for some reason, let me just start it. Let me just take it and let me just pause it. There it is up on the screen. Scan the QR code, get them delivered to your door, 25% off with the code Goldbridge, link in the description. If you're into your t-shirts, it's nice to have a t-shirt underneath something as well. Shirts, jumpers, or just chilling around in the house when you've got the heating on, although who does that these days? So check them out, True Classic, 25% off with the code Goldbridge. Really good t-shirts. I'm wearing one today. Right, let's get ready to rumble, everybody. We're ready. We're ready. We're really, really ready. The referee's going to kick this off, and I'm going to start the timer. And then I'll start the stats carousel, and we'll see how we go. Can Leicester, who've had a bit of a revival, give the Premier League what it wants? Man City beaten. Let's see. Jack Grealish starting as well. I don't know whether you heard. No Haaland for Man City as well. Don't know whether you heard what Jack Grealish had to say this week. Oh, I wish they'd just leave me alone and focus on somebody else so I can focus on my own game. Unfortunately, Jack, you cost 100 million quid. It's not how it works, pal. I do empathise with him, though. You know, he probably gets fed up of all the attention. But when you're a £100 million player, that attention ain't going to go anywhere. So timer's working there. No Erling Haaland, as we've discussed. Does it make a difference to Manchester City? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. No Foden for Man City either. Mahrez, Grealish, De Bruyne, Alvarez. He is on the bench, I think, Phil Foden. I'll tell you what's on bench for Man City. They have got Foden on the bench. Mahrez is not starting, sorry. Their front three is Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, Grealish, with Alvarez ahead of them, and then Gundogan and Rodri. So no Mahrez, no Foden. Aki's on the bench for them as well with Ruben Diaz. I mean, look at that. That's squad depth for you, isn't it? When you've got a centre-back playing at right-back and you can still put Diaz and Aki on the bench. Good squad depth there for Man City. Also got Foden and Mahrez on the bench as well. Then again, I mean, I don't think Leicester's bench is unreasonable. Or Brighton, Iheanacho, Perez, Daka, Mendy, and Didi, Pratt. You know, I mean, Leicester should be doing better than they are. Still not in the bottom three anymore, Leicester. Played a game more than Leeds, though, but they have got 11 points. Only 2 points off the bottom. Things could change around this weekend. Wolves obviously playing Brentford at 3 o'clock. They've lost 3 games in a row. Could be facing 3 losses in a row. Forest go to Arsenal tomorrow. That should be an easy win for Arsenal. Leeds play Liverpool. So maybe there will be no change at the bottom, but this would be a very welcome points for Leicester if they could do it this Saturday lunchtime. Man City without Erling Haaland. Let's get on with it then. Halloween weekend. Hi Mark, how you doing? My cousin Mike. Yeah, I'm not reading that Top Gear. I'm not a bloody idiot. He's put the name Mike and then the word Hock afterwards and said my cousin Mike, surname Hock. I don't know what year you think it is, but it ain't 2017 where some of us used to get caught out by this sort of stuff. Cross into the box, they're all offside for Man City there. Random says, easy win for Arsenal. I'm taunting Forest. I'm winding them up. Easy win for Arsenal tomorrow against Forest at the Emirates, yes. Did you see them last week against Liverpool? They're just part of the bus. Arsenal have got a better attack than Liverpool at the moment. So, comfortable win for Arsenal tomorrow. I'm thinking at least 7-0. No, probably 2 or 3-0 to be fair. What do you think about Dumfries? Do you prefer him over Frimpong, Mark, says Ways? I think Dumfries is a safer bet than Frimpong. There's development potential with Frimpong, though. Obviously, he's younger, but I presume we're talking Chelsea here. Score predictions for this game. Oh, it's going to go one or two ways. We're going to get a good game, or I'm going to lose my crap and say, what's the point in this Premier League? Because Man City are so good, even without Haaland. Don't let your Forest bias underestimate Arsenal, says N. You've got no ears, have you, N? You don't listen. And when is the last game before the World Cup, says Ibrahim? It's 2 weeks tomorrow. Sunday the 12th of November is the last games before the Premier League. And then the World Cup starts on the 19th, a week later. So, yeah, I think Man United Fulham might be the last game of it. Prediction for Man United Sociedad, says Trodden. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a cracking game. We've got to win by 2 goals. Got to beat West Ham tomorrow first. Why no Haaland, says Luca. I think he's ran out of oil. He's a robot and there's been a malfunction. They need to order some chips. And I don't mean potato chips. No, I don't know what's wrong with Haaland. I think he's... I thought he was ill. Is he ill or injured? Don't know. Let us know in the chat. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. In the top right-hand corner, you will see that we've got 798,000 subscribers. 800,000 subscribers is a very big achievement for us. Everybody is welcome on this channel. It's our community. So please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and get involved with the channel. We're very close to 800k. I'll tell you how close in a minute. JB says that Haaland's got foot and fever. I've heard of foot and mouth. I've heard of fever. I've never heard foot and fever. And Roger says, hello, Roger. He says, apparently it's 3 things. Illness, knee injury, and foot injury. Ooh. Please read my super chat. That would make my weekend, says Scars Music. Just read it. What's your Discord, says Jordan. I don't do Discord. And Grimmy hopes that City lose. I'm hoping for a 1-0 win to Leicester. Another week and no new podcast going for Goldbridge. What's going on, says Nelly. I'm very busy, mate. It will be back. I'm in discussions about doing a proper podcast, so it will be back, hopefully, if we can just sort out get the contract done. Are Arsenal a bigger club than Leeds, says Jimmy. Yeah. Yeah. What's my Instagram? At Goldbridge Mark. I do Instagram, yeah. At Goldbridge Mark is the official one. I think it's got a tick. Anyone know if I've got a tick on Instagram? Have a look. Instagram. Yes, I have. No, I haven't. That's a. Oh, I was getting excited then. It's not. I haven't. It's a blue addition to do a story. I have got a blue tick. Yeah, at Goldbridge Mark. That's me. Oh, well. Do you think Graham Potter could become an elite manager, says Connor? I sort of hope he does. I mean, not to the detriment of Manchester United, but I'd rather Chelsea with Potter do better than Liverpool, Arsenal and Man City. I find Chelsea way less offensive than them teams. I'm sorry if you don't agree, but it's all about personal opinion, and I would rather Chelsea. And I like Potter as well. I think we've all followed his career. It's hard to dislike Potter at Chelsea because we've all followed his career from Brighton, and you know, football. We all watch football, don't we? We all analyse future managers, future players, and I think Potter's a player that most people like. Do you think Leicester can stay up without signings in January, and should Maddison get on the plane to Qatar, says Blin? I don't think he will. I think he probably should, but I don't think he will, if I'm being honest. Leicester says Robot Haaland broke down. He needs to be sent to the repair shop. Man City dominating the ball here, as you would expect. I mean, Leicester will play on the counter. Do you think we'll beat Villa today, says Jamie? 1 minute. There's somebody at the door. I've dodged the question there, Jamie. Depends who you're playing, Jamie. I'll have to have a look. Back again, back again. Not missed a goal, that's the main thing. Yeah, who are we talking about? Villa are playing Newcastle. Oh, that's a good game, but Newcastle will not have their new manager, will they? Nice ball into the box by City. Little flicked header by Gundogan. Easy catch for Ward. Man City dominating here. What do we think the score's going to be? One of two ways. Leicester are going to scam this on the break, or they're going to get dominated. What's this phase all about at Leicester anyway? What's he all about? I don't. He's not a player I know about. You know, I don't remember him. I don't know much about him. Wout Faes. He's a Belgian player. He's 24. And he's played one game for the Belgian national team. And he came to Leicester from Reims. 5-year deal for £15 million. I know he's got the hair. He does look a little bit like... we've had 4 clean sheets in the 6 games he's played. Leicester's recruitment's always been pretty good, you know. Maybe he's a name for the future. Liam says he's impressed so far. Well, it's another name to keep an eye on, isn't it? Faes and Bella Kotchup. Do you have any Pokemon cards? No, N, I don't. Please do subscribe to the channel. That's what I was going to check. So City have got a corner here. They're dominating the ball. That's been stuck on the Leicester team news for ages. Why is it going to move from Leicester? Or am I just catching it on Leicester? Headed away. There we go. Liverpool bound, Bella Kotchup probably. Love from Malaysia, says GT. Love to everybody. Countries. Except for... No, I won't say that. I think we all know the country I'm talking about. We're only 100 subscribers away from 799, so make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Actually, there's more than one country I wouldn't give love to, actually. There's quite a few. Let's not make it about one. Do anyone find football slightly boring, says Moon? No. It's 4:41 a.m. in LA, says Vibes. And Wolf, thank you very much for subscribing. No, you haven't subscribed. You're just a chat. Xenophobic Bridge. No, that's not. You completely don't understand what I'm talking about, mate. So swivel on it. And I didn't name the country anyway, so swivel on it twice. Will Liverpool win today, says Frentas? Yeah, I think you'll beat Leeds today. And it's 10:41 p.m. in Australia, says Tense. It's 7:42 in Singapore. I like knowing what time it is in different countries. De Bruyne, cross, straight at the keeper, another corner. I mean, it's a bit relentless from Man City here. Don't forget, True Classic T-shirts are sponsoring the show. The link's in the description. Look at those stats. 78% possession for Man City and pure domination at the moment. Leicester have only made 30 passes, whereas Man City have made 115. 4 times the passes already, and we've only had 12 minutes. Leicester need to switch on here. Haaland is a wish, Wout Weghorst, says Jack Clancy. What's on your neck, Mark? My head. Everton match prediction. You see, you're asking me stuff I don't know. Who are Everton playing? Fulham. Oh, God, what a crap 5:30 that is. This is why I'm doing a 12:30. Televised games this weekend are shite. How have you managed to grow up in the early 90s and not hate Leeds, who beat you to the league, says Frentas. Who said I didn't hate Leeds? I just think they're slightly irrelevant. Why waste your time hating on something that's not relevant? Like, why would I hate Leeds? And also, a lot of United fans hate Leeds from the 70s, really. Leeds remind me a bit of a Trump. You know, it's there, it stinks, and then it disappears after a very short period of time. That's basically what happened with Leeds. They sort of were there. They came from nowhere. They won the league, and then they pissed off. How have you managed to... So that answers that. Can you give us your thoughts on Messi PR? I find them weird, says Noir. I don't know what you're talking about. It's 12:43 in Nigeria, says Otto. Thanks very much for your for being a member, Otto. It's all Man City at the moment. Who do you think is going to win the World Cup, says Owen. Well, I'm quite enamoured by the look. I love those kits. They look very nice, even though it's Man City. It looks very nice on the old stats carousel. I'm quite intrigued by the predictions that people are going with, that Brazil and Argentina are going to do well, because, I mean, obviously I'd love England to win the World Cup, but it's never going to happen unless it would have to be the shittest World Cup ever. I mean, I'm going to be absolutely honest here. It would have to be the shittest World Cup ever for England to win the World Cup, because we've got Gareth Southgate in charge. So for us to win it, lovely ball by De Bruyne, good save by the keeper. They want an offside. You should have done Brighton versus Chelsea Watchalong homecoming for Potter, says Akshay. It's 3 o'clock games though. I don't really like doing the 3 o'clock games, if I'm honest with you. It's not on the telly, and it's just, yeah, I don't like doing the 3 o'clocks, if I'm honest. What was I talking about before? Yeah, the World Cup. So yeah, if England were to win the World Cup, it would be the worst World Cup there's ever been, because we're crap, we're boring, we've got Southgate in charge, and we basically just bore everybody to death. So I'd love England to win it because I'm English, but it wouldn't be pretty if we did. So I'm hoping that this hype around Brazil and Argentina is real, because we haven't seen a non-European club win the World Cup for 20 years. It was Brazil in Japan in 2002, the last time anybody won it outside of Europe. So I'd love to see that. I would love to see that, but my head still thinks that it will be a France who win it, something like that. What a ball. De Bruyne should have headed that. Silva smashes it. Good save. They're all over them at the moment. Mark, who would you like to be the next England manager if Southgate flops, says Steve. If Southgate flops, what are you talking about? He's bloody useless. There's no if, buts or maybes. Get rid of him. He's rubbish. Even Marks and Spencers don't want to sponsor him anymore with waistcoats. So look, the next England manager should be Potter or Howe. But they're not. I wouldn't leave Chelsea or Newcastle to take the England job. I mean, if you're at Chelsea or Newcastle, you've got owners who want to back you, who want to make you the best team in England. If you go to England, you've got the people who are your bosses who basically just want to make money and keep themselves in a job. So it's not an attractive job, the England job, for Howe or Potter. So the problem is we'll probably end up with somebody like Gerrard or Lampard, who for me are just not. I don't want Sean Dyche, by the way. I don't want us to go English next. Crossing the box, headed by Rodri over the bar. I don't want England to go English, really. I don't see an English candidate. So I would be looking at. I'd love Pochettino to take it. He knows the Premier League. I think it would be a good job for him to take for a few years. And I think he's got the reputation and respect to do the job. But if we go foreign, we can't go with the wrong profile. I mean, we've had Ericsson, who's basically a Swedish Pulis. And we've had Capello, who's basically an Italian Pulis as well. Like, we may as well have got Tony Pulis. So I would like England to go with a foreign coach next. And, yeah. I'm not unpatriotic, I just see it how it is. England's been an embarrassment for most of my life because of the way it's run. We're not ambitious. We're conservative. That's what the FA's like. Man City should be 2-0 up, says Luca. They're absolutely dominating Leicester here. It's really disappointing from Leicester, actually. They've come into it with a very, very negative mindset, and they just don't seem to know what to do with the ball when they get it. I mean, they've got the ball now. They're passing around their back five, and it's difficult. The press from Man City is there, but you're Premier League footballers. Have a bit of the ball. See, Maddison there wins the ball. I thought that was a good foul. Cyber Leader's a West Ham fan. I think you're going to thrash us tomorrow. But you have got that very interesting stat, West Ham, where you've lost 4 games out of 6 away from home, but you've only conceded 6 goals. So you don't concede many goals. George says it's very slow from Leicester. Yeah, I mean, look, they're not having a very good season, are they? I think of all the games that you wouldn't mind not having Erling Haaland, it's probably Leicester or Forest, because they're just not very good. Ollie is next manager, says Dodgy. I mean, I always take it as a joke when people say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is next manager of any club, because I'm telling you now, he shouldn't be taking a job anywhere out of Norway. Like, he did well at Mulder, and that's probably his level. I don't think, I think Carrick at Middlesbrough and McKenna at Ipswich are better managers than Ollie. So that shows you what Ollie's level is. Maybe a lower Championship club, Division League One side. I'm Scottish, says Jack, and I want Prattgate out. I believe you can only be as good as your biggest rival, since you push each other to be better. Wenger is England coach, says Pleb. I wouldn't mind Wenger as England coach, but I think he's probably a little bit too old for it now. That's my personal feeling. Scooby-Doo. Man City are putting a lot of crosses into the box. I don't know whether that's a legacy from Erling Haaland, that it's the way they're playing this year, but there was a time when Man City really were not about putting crosses into the box, and they definitely are today. Nice ball into De Bruyne, he won't keep that in, and goes out for a goal kick. Opinion on Ireland's football team, Mark says on Ireland. I know you've not been very good for a while, but seem to be getting a little bit better. It's a long road back, isn't it? Scott Parker for England. I mean, that's what I mean. If you go for an English coach, you're going to end up with someone like Scott Parker or Steven Gerrard. That's not progression. We're 50 subscribers away from 799. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Man City absolutely dominating the ball here. Leicester for the home side. I think it's just park the bus and try and hit on the break, isn't it? Every pass seems to be a back pass. It's a hard challenge for Leicester, of course, but I wouldn't be passing the ball around my back 5 against Man City. It's got to be worth hitting a few long balls. Hit the channels. And they hit a long ball, and of course Vardy's not any good at holding the ball up against people like Akanji and Stones and Laporte. Favourite Scooby-Doo film, says Richard. Can't say I've watched any in a long time to give you a favourite, Richard. Here's Grealish. Come on, Leicester, says Mr. Gunners. First 22 minutes has not been very encouraging. It's just too easy for Man City. Nice ball by Rodri into Grealish. Cancelo tries to whip a cross in. Here we go. That's a foul. Man City and Pep are so good at that. That first phase foul. Take them out early. Don't let them get the break anywhere near. You won't even get booked for it. There we go. England tried Capello and that didn't work, says Mark. Yeah, because he was the wrong type of foreign coach to go for. He was an Italian part of the bus merchant. You've got to go for, if you're going to go foreign, go for somebody who's actually good. Don't go for somebody who plays negative football. Again, conservative. There's a really big, if you look at England's recruitment of managers over the last 20 years, ever since they got rid of Keegan, it's been conservative. Ericsson, conservative. Capello, conservative. Southgate, conservative. McLaren, conservative. Hodgson, conservative. Allardyce, don't even talk to me. Lovely ball into Vardy. Oh, slip it in. Cross it. Harvey Barnes, tickle him, tickle him. Oh, Edison, corner that is, ref. Corner. Good break, good break. Would you take Thomas Tuchel? I mean, Tuchel's a bit conservative, to be honest, but I mean, of course I'd take Tuchel over Southgate. Standard save by Edison there, goes for a corner, but Harvey Barnes got the shot off. At least we've seen something from Leicester on the break. Sean says Haaland's out for 6 months. I bet he's not. He'll be out for like 6 days, you know he will. It's 12:54 in the UK, says San. Brexit national team, says Jack. Right, here we go. Corner to Leicester. This could be some area where they could get a little bit of positivity, but no, Man City are not bad on corners. Roy Keane for England, coach, says Riley. Rooney for England. That's the sort of thing they'd probably do, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if Southgate stays. England gets the quarterfinals, come back to a bus tour. English football fans love losing, so, you know, probably give him another 3-year deal. Edison gets hold of it. Name a World Cup winning coach that plays incredible football, says Mark. Oh, mate. Mark, you're not called Mark. You're called Gareth. And your second name's Southgate. Like, don't defend Southgate. He's an absolute joke. And you can't say, wow, France don't play entertaining football. International football is not that entertaining, but you can have principles. Like, Brazil do not play Gareth Southgate football. We've seen England playing with a back five and 2 holding midfielders at home to bloody farmers. Come on. And there are examples of teams that try to play good football. De Bruyne's got the ball on the right-hand side. Lovely cross. Good header by that phase. And Maddison just dinks it out for throw-in. You should shave your head if Southgate wins the World Cup, says Jim White. And Joshua says, why don't City wear their black and red kit for the away? I don't know. I suppose it's just more of a contrast with lime against blue, isn't there? It's not even lime, it's lemon, isn't it? I mean, if you look at the World Cup winners, Brazil 94 was a good side. France 98 was a good side. Brazil 2002 was a good side. Who won the World Cup in 2006? Was it Italy? I mean, they weren't. They were a bit pragmatic, of course. De Bruyne just fell over a pass. He's human after all. Wins it back. 2010 was Spain. De Bruyne, good shot straight at the keeper. I mean, that Spain team wasn't my cup of tea, but it was a very good Spain team, wasn't it? The way they played football. So they were very good. I mean, look, could Southgate get England playing like Spain? Whether you like that style of football, in his bloody dreams. 2014 was... Who won it in 2014? Was it Germany? They were a good side. I mean, they battered Brazil. Brazil haven't won a World Cup in 20 years, says Mark. I mean, France 2018 was a bit methodical, I agree. But there you go. Out of the last 6 World Cup winners, both Brazil teams were very entertaining. The German side was entertaining. The Spanish side was entertaining. And the France 98 team was very entertaining. So Italy and France 2018, 2 out of 6 weren't that easy on the eye. 4 of them were. And remember, they're playing football every 3 days as well, so it's hard to maintain that. Nearly Leicester. Do you believe it's easier to win the Champions League with a team like Porto or a World Cup with a team like Denmark, says Tyler Wilson. Thanks for the super chat. I think it's easier to win a World Cup with Denmark than the Champions League with Porto because it's a longer tournament to win the Champions League, and also you can buy players in domestic football, whereas national teams, you're only as good as your passport, aren't you? Obviously, Denmark would be huge underdogs, but every now and again, you get these so-called smaller nations who get a clutch of really good players. And I think Denmark have got it at the moment. I think Belgium had it about 8 years ago. So I think Porto winning the Champions League is more impressive than Denmark winning the World Cup. Of course, Denmark have already won the Euros. They did it in 1992. Croatia have had a clutch as well, haven't they? Yeah. I'd love Denmark to win the World Cup. I mean, I said this at the last World Cup. Mexico, Colombia, these teams, I'd love them to have a World Cup. I mean, how great would it be to see somebody win the World Cup that hasn't won it before? But I don't think we're going to see that. Really needs to be an African nation that goes deep as well. I mean, I remember that quote from somebody in 1990 when Cameroon did well, and somebody said in the next 20 years an African nation team is going to win the World Cup. Massively naive to say that, because 20 years is only 5 World Cups, and you know, evolution of football takes a little bit longer than that. Here's Harvey Barnes on the break. He stands up John Stones, does well, and really should be putting the cross in. Twice he's done that. Wants to go to the World Cup, won't be going. Do I think an African nations team will win the World Cup in the next 20 years? Probably not. I think realistically, you've got to be looking by 2050, which sounds a long time, but trust me, 30 years goes around like that. So better coaching, better infrastructure, and one of them just needs to get a clutch of good players. Like 3 or 4 is not enough. Remember that Ivory Coast side in maybe 2006 World Cup? I think they were in the group of death then. Drogba was playing. I think they had Kalou, Torres. That's not enough. I think you need 8, 9, 10 really good players, because you will get found out. And that's the next step, isn't it? What's your favourite World Cup? Lovely cross by De Bruyne, headed away by Faze. Genuinely think the next World Cup in USA will be the best ever. I'm looking forward to that, Mark, because actually I really enjoyed USA 94, but England weren't in it. So I hated it in one way, but then it was a really good World Cup. I mean, imagine if England had been in it. I mean, it was very hot. I remember Jack Charlton and John Aldridge getting very, very angry. But no, it was I liked the World Cup in USA 94. My favourite World Cup is Italia 90, because it was just that right age. Sort of my big introduction into football. So Man City, half an hour gone, still struggling to break Leicester down here. Could we get a shock? Well, Leicester have been a bit better in the last few minutes. They have had a couple of chances on the break, but to be fair, Man City do miss Haaland. Any team would. And Leicester should take heart and maybe grow into the game a little bit more. You know, you're not really under pressure. You're not getting a lot of the ball, but you're not under massive, big chance pressure. And Man City are having to work hard. And look, they've got a little lad up front called Alvarez. Don't need to worry about him too much. Do you think Liverpool will win with ease today, says Lucas? I don't think Leeds are terrible, but I think Liverpool have got to win that game, yeah. I mean, for Liverpool, it's about top 4, isn't it? That's what it's about for Liverpool. And if they want top 4, they've got to start winning. Look at the stats at the moment. What we got? Well, possession's improved a little bit for Leicester. They've definitely come into the game more in the last 15 minutes because it was domination on the passing. They're about half the amount of passes now, whereas it was 4 times the amount of passes. Hopefully Saudi Arabia wins the World Cup, says Fusen. Grealish wants a penalty here. We just talked. Someone in the chat just said about Grealish. Look, I like Grealish. I think he's a good player, but he's not £100 million. That's not a penalty. Gets the ball. Imagine the World Cup in England. It's a lovely pass into Grealish, but that's not a penalty because Castagnet touches the ball. Imagine the World Cup in England. Criminal, it hasn't happened since '66, says Mark. And what do you think of Canada, says Brains. Hoping they're going to do well. What are you having for dinner? I think I'm having chili. I'm going to a party tonight. Grealish with the corner. Headed away. Headed away. Headed away now. Don't forget, we're sponsored by True Classic T-shirts today. You can get 25% off delivered to your door with the code Goldbridge. Scan the QR code or go through the link in the description. What are True Classic? Their big thing is well-fitted T-shirts for men. We all like our T-shirts as men, don't we? But the fits are very haphazard, whether it's a designer one or one from a local supermarket. T-shirt design and fit is not something that you can rely on. Well, you can with True Classic. I'm wearing one today, lovely fitting, and get yours delivered 25% off with the code Goldbridge. Check it out. Are you dressing up for the party? I don't think I'm dressing. I don't think it's that sort of party tonight. I probably will dress up on Monday. I might post a picture. I used to have a Dracula outfit, so I'll have a look and see if I can find it. I don't know where it is. I did have one. It had trousers and everything. Why did you stop doing F1 watch-alongs, Gladly? Because it's fucking boring. Steven Gerrard or Paul Pogba, says Abe. Shot by, is that Harvey Barnes again? Yeah, he's a greedy sod, isn't he? Steven Gerrard or Pogba? Gerrard. I like F1 and I do watch it a lot, but I'd never do a watch along for it because it's not entertaining. It's boring. And I don't. Again, I think the F1. I mean, look, they've got the F1 has got the same letter as the FA, and they remind me very similar of each other. It's all about arse covering and protecting yourselves, instead of actually doing what needs to be done. Red Bull overspent, and they've basically been given a slap on the wrist. They should be deducted points for last year. I think it's disgusting. So I'm not a massive fan of how F1 is run either. The final race last year was a disgrace. And then we find out that Red Bull have overspent and they sort of go, it's all right. I mean, you've got a bloody spend cap and you're not handing out punishments. So I just find, I do like it, but I think it's very disappointing. Can you do some NFL watch-along, says Josh. I do like NFL, but I wouldn't do a watch-along until the Super Bowl. Maybe a playoff, but not normal season. I wouldn't do it. I do watch it, though. I do like it. Tom Brady should have retired, shouldn't he? They're doing terrible. Cancelo with a lovely cross to the back post. Well done there. I think it's Justin. Flicks it for a corner. Man City really just having to Man City having to put a lot of crosses into the box today to try and exploit this Leicester wall. But without Haaland, they don't really have someone to get on the end of it. Corner to Man City here. Maybe this is where they'll get some damage because they've got some centre-backs. Will you be streaming the Chelsea match, says Russell? No. My next watch-along is tomorrow, and it's United against West Ham. We've hit 799,000. I feel I should change that because we are closing in on 800k. Thanks everyone for subscribing. Remember, you're all welcome on on That's Football. Everybody's welcome. Doesn't matter who you support. Even Leighton Orient fans are welcome. So make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Let's take that. So yeah, look, top right hand corner. Very, very close. Indeed, to 800k. Hey bro, anything else planned for Twitch? Says then I have got some stuff planned for Twitch. Football Manager. It comes out on the 8th. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Football Manager. It's coming. Get ready. Probably have a mini break from FIFA Career Mode. So hopefully, timing wise, we'll finish this season with United Stand FC and have a mini break for Football Manager for a couple of weeks. Haven't had a haircut. I'm just at that stage with my haircut where it you can gel it and make it look like it got cut a week ago, so you can still gel it and make it look fresh. Leicester on the attack, but this is Man City on the break. Bernardo Silva, what a player he is. Lovely ball out to Grealish. Grass in front of you, Jack. Go on, stretch those calves. Here he goes. He's got De Bruyne on the outside. Goes to De Bruyne. Corner again. Mark, what are your thoughts on Eto's comments suggesting he was better than Henry and Henry wasn't better than Anelka? Says Ajax. This is, but that comment by Eto is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant because we have this with ex-United players. People get lost with, oh, they were a legend for the team. Therefore, when they open their mouth when they've retired, they must be legendary. It's the same with Eto. He's a legend of the game. Oh, he opens his mouth. He must be right. He's talking shite. Like, Eto was fantastic. World-class player. Not better than Thierry Henry. No. So I appreciate that comment from Eto, if it's true, because it absolutely nails down on what we already know. All these ex-players that are legends sometimes talk absolute bitter crap. And it's true. They're legends for what they did on the pitch. They're not legends for what they're doing in a punditry gantry or whatever. What's your favourite name extension by the chat? Says International. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'd love to say Thierry Henry wasn't that good. I'll never forgive him for what he did to Ireland with his handball. But that doesn't mean he's not a good player. I've played at this ground, by the way. I played the game. I played at Leicester. I'll tell you that. I've played on that pitch. I've played the game. I've played at Leicester. The only thing I can say in its defence was that I played at Old Trafford and then 5 days later I played at Leicester. And it really is like having a good time with everything that ticks your box and then 3 days later having an okay time with something pretty average. And that's what it was. I think if I'd played Leicester first, I'd have liked it better. But yeah, we've not done 800k, Mohammed. There's no way we've done 1,000 subscribers in 10 minutes. So we haven't done 800k. We're 4 minutes away from half time here, and we'll go through all the other fixtures at half time actually. But at the moment, if I was Leicester, I'd be pretty happy. It's 0-0. Okay, look, there's not loads of action, but not many people want Man City to win. And defensively, I think Leicester have looked quite comfortable. I mean, at any moment, Man City could produce that moment of magic, but they look pretty comfortable. If you want to poll, let me know. I'm all in black today. I've got my black t-shirt by True Classics, 25% off, lovely fitted t-shirts, delivered to your door with the code Goldbridge, and I've got me United Stand trackies on. Late bridge, transfer bridge, says International. All right, I see what you mean. Grealish ain't happy. I think he wants a corner. Today's show shows City miss Jesus and Sterling, says Hassie, and Haaland. Oh, he wanted a corner there, Grealish. They're not going to go to VAR, Jack. I'd love Leicester to score. I think we all would. I don't know what the prognosis is on Haaland. I'll see if I can find anything out. I mean, a lot of these things end up being kept under wraps, don't they? But yeah, we're on 799,200. We're on that road to 800k. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Mark, you're my favourite e-boy, says Grime. Don't know what that means. This is the Arsenal versus Man City. Sorry, Arsenal versus Southampton ref, says Owen. Well, I don't think there's been anything contentious yet. I mean, there definitely was in that game. Jesus, it should have been a penalty, and I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I disagree that we are at the same level as Chelsea, Arsenal. Chelsea have Pulisic, Ziyech as bench options as Vivek. I agree with you, Vivek, and also they've got an owner that's going to spend a lot of money in January and the summer. Mark, why can't the FIFA 23 game pronounce Bruno's name? Right drives me crazy, says Brian. I don't listen to the commentary, mate. So I don't know. I heard Eddie Howe talking about something the other day, actually. I think it was Eddie Howe, and it was absolutely spot on. He was talking about how he watches football without the audio because you can't be persuaded or manipulated by crowd noise, etc. Which in a way is saying that I don't want anybody else's opinion on a game other than mine, but I watch football without the audio. So when we had COVID games, I think for a lot of people it was horrific because the grounds were empty and you could hear the players shouting, etc. And what's better than a full crowd? But I think Eddie Howe's absolutely spot on. I think I love watching football without the audio. One, because I have to do the watch-alongs, but even if I don't do a watch-along, I turn the audio off now because you are completely unbiased in your opinion. And it's funny because sometimes you'll tweet something and it's almost like you're watching a different game, but at least it's my opinion I'm giving off. How many people on Thursday night were listening to BT Sports, and when Robbie Savage and Paul Scholes are saying how embarrassing it is about Anthony, they take up that opinion because somebody's telling them it's embarrassing. So I know that's only a minor thing, but crossed by Man City. Ooh, I think it's another corner. Leicester are going to win, says Mr. Kool-Aid. It does have the feeling of last Saturday, doesn't it? Forest against Liverpool. Same sort of thing. Liverpool dominating, but not really creating clear-cut chances. Man City are dominating, but where's the clear-cut chance? I think their best chance of scoring is going to be from a corner when they get their centre-backs forward. What's your thoughts on Jerusalem, says Daniel Brown. I've never been. I'd like to go. I'm into history. Who've you captained for FPL, Mark? I haven't looked at it. I've sort of checked out, Dylan. Leicester are going to pull off a 1-0 upset. I'm here for that, Victoria. And it's half time. It's half time at the old King Power. What a crap name for a stadium. Filbert Street was a lot better. Grealish is having a moan to the ref. Stop moaning, Jack. 100 million quid. They didn't pay you to moan. I mean, look. Let's get some questions going in the chat. It's half time. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. This has got a draw written all over it, says Mark. Well, I tell you what, Mark, I think a draw would be very good. I mean, a draw would put Man City a point behind Arsenal. If they win tomorrow, they go 4 points clear again. So I think Arsenal would be very, very happy to go into that World Cup break in first place. They'll be bloody happy. So, look, I think there's a long way to go for Leicester to get a point here. But at the moment in time, if I was Brendan Rodgers at half-time, I'd be saying, lads, keep concentrated, keep doing what you're doing. Harvey Barnes learned to pass. On the break, we might get something, but on the defence, you're doing a great job. They're not carving you open. You're not giving them the space. Their only chance of scoring is crossing. If they put a worldie in and they score, there's nothing we can do about it. But let's just keep doing what we're doing. That's what I would say. Yeah. Just on Grealish, full English breakfast or Sunday roast, says Dan. Depends on the mood, Dan. If you're down the pub and it's lunchtime on a Sunday, you've got a pint of bitter and you're having a Sunday lunch, yabba dabba do. But if it's first thing on the morning on a Saturday and you've had a bit of a heavy night, you can't beat an English breakfast with a cup of tea. Love it, love it. So moods, it's like people say, what's your favourite takeaway? It depends. Sometimes I really want a Chinese takeaway, and then sometimes I really want an Indian takeaway, and sometimes I just want a pizza. Like last night I went down the pub and I was like, I want a pizza. And they were like, well, order one then. I said, I will. I'm just telling you I want a pizza. Have you got any tables? So Marco says, why the hell is Jack Grealish worth £100 million? I just want to delve into this because it is Man City against Leicester. And I saw a comment from Grealish this week saying that he wishes the media would leave him alone so he can focus on his game. Unfortunately, I agree with him. I think he must love not being spoken about so he can focus on his game. But he cost £100 million over a year ago. And the questions will be asked about him the same they're going to be asked about Jadon Sancho, who cost £74 million a year ago. You are English players playing in the Premier League, and you are still not delivering your TUSFC is different gravy, says Grimmy. I love it. You're still not delivering what people would expect for that. And I would throw Sancho into the Grealish argument. And I like both players. For me, Grealish at Villa was my favourite player outside of Manchester United. Obviously, he goes to Man City and that you lose that, Jack, I'm afraid. But I like Sancho as well. I think there's players there. But I said it in the summer about Grealish. When you're a £100 million player, you've got to do more. And I watch him play, and I think that he could, there's more in Grealish. I still think when Grealish plays for England, he's a player that, I really admire and I want him to do well. But, I'm not saying he's a flop, and I'm not saying if this season's another average one, Man City will get rid of him. But at some point, you've got to go, we spent £100 million on him, it's season 2, when's he going to deliver? Right, it's a bit like a TV series, isn't it? Season 1 was okay, it needs to be better in season 2 or I'm going to stop watching it. Could Messi v Ronaldo derby happen next season, says Sabi? I don't know how. And Grealish at Villa wasn't that good. I think he was fantastic at Villa, Alexander. But I think the problem is that, and look, we've seen this happen many times before, Jack Grealish at Aston Villa, everything was about him. He was a big fish in a small pond. And I'm not disrespecting Villa there, but he was that player. Everything, get the ball to Grealish, he's the star of the team. Goes to Man City, you're not the star of the team anymore. And also, I don't want you to get the ball and run at people. I want you to keep hold of the ball a bit more. So it does take some adjustment, of course it does. TUFC is back on a Monday. I've already bought the right winger, by the way. I only do it on Monday to Friday. So, yes. How are Leicester playing, says Elliot. They're doing good. Defensively, I think they're absolutely fine. I think that City need to find a different way of creating. They're struggling. Leicester are basically playing with a back five. They're shielding that back five. It's very difficult to play through them. And I think Man City, because they're used to Haaland, are trying to put crosses into the box, but Alvarez ain't very big. So they're going to miss Haaland. I think we all saw that. I actually think if Haaland was playing, they'd probably be 1-0 up, because at his height and physicality, he'd cause those defenders a lot more problems than Alvarez is. So, look, the experiment that is there, isn't it? Are Man City the same team without Erling Haaland? Well, no. They're playing a team that's right near the bottom of the league, and they're struggling to score, but we're only halfway through. Leicester away isn't for everyone, says J Football. And thoughts on Barca in the Europa, says Hamza. Do you think City will win the league? Yes, Leo, I do. I think they will win the league. And surprised they didn't have him on the bench at least, says Randy. Well, if he's not fit, he's not fit. No more watch-alongs from me today, Arvin. This will be me today. And then tomorrow it's United against West Ham. So, yep. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We are on the road to 800k. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. 800,000 is massive. So thanks, everybody, for watching. And make sure you subscribe. Everyone's welcome on That's Football. Either Southgate or Ollie Mark for the memes. And the league looks fair without Haaland, says Don Arsenal TV. I think Man City without Haaland is something that many people have thought about. Nobody wishes injury on anybody, and it's not guaranteed that somebody will get injured. But obviously they don't have Haaland today. And in the past, you've got Raheem Sterling, you've got Jesus. So it's a different challenge for Manchester City without Erling Haaland. And I think that we've seen it in this game. Their inability to whip a cross into the box is causing them problems. They're still putting the crosses in, but they're not able to get on the end of them. I predicted an upset this season. Never knew it would be Liverpool, says Raven. Rave, Dem, Music. And thoughts on Wout Base, Mark, says Brom. I think he looks... I didn't really know much about him. They brought him in from, was it Reims in France? He's played one game for the Belgium national team. He's 23. And, he's got that David Luiz vibe because of his hair, but he's also got that David Luiz vibe in relation to... It could almost be David Luiz. He moves like him as well. It is. There are similarities there, but look, he's Belgian, and Leicester have got a tradition of bringing in good players. I mean, look, going back as far as Kante and Didi, Fofana, they've got very good recruitment at Leicester, and maybe they've got another one there. What are your thoughts on... I don't know what that is, Jack, so I'm not going to say the words. And do you think Cavani would have made a difference if he stayed at United, says the Cabinet? Yeah, I do. I think that right now Cavani would be quite useful. The problem with Cavani was staying fit. Mahrez and drink water as well, says Jonathan. Oh, yeah, there's plenty of examples. Should Ronaldo start the next game, Mark, says Jux. I'd start Rashford, Ronaldo and Anthony tomorrow against West Ham. If he goes with Rashford down the middle, I'd play Garnacho off the left. Hi, Mark. Do you see Trossard moving to a top 4 team, says Ishan. Well, I think Trossard's going to move. Correct me if I'm wrong. Trossard's contract is up in the summer, so he's definitely going to move. Whether he stays in the Premier League or not, he may go abroad. There may be interest from other clubs. He's a good player. If Maguire comes in and keeps a clean sheet and keeps his place on the next game, how unfair is it to Lindelof, says Gray? Well, it is very unfair, but I think sometimes you've got to look at the opposition, haven't you? And there's a tall striker tomorrow. Grealish or Harvey Barnes? Let's do it. I mean, it's an interesting one. Either or, let's do it. Let's do some polls. Grealish, Barnes, go. Get in the chat. I like doing a bit of that. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. And just while you're doing that poll, let me give you a big shout out to who we're gonna do a shout out to. We're gonna do a shout out to our sponsor, who is True Classic T-shirts, 25% off. With the code Goldbridge, link in the description, or scan your QR code with your phone. We all wear T-shirts, whether it's an undergarment or you just want to wear it around the house or down the pub, get yourself some of these T-shirts. The big thing with True Classic is the fit. We've all bought T-shirts, whether they're designer or not, and the fit, you never know what it's going to be. Sometimes the arms are like wings, they're massive. The fit around the chest is just loose. Not with True Classic. It's fitted T-shirts delivered to your door. 25% off with the code Goldbridge. Give them a try. I'm telling you now, I'm wearing one today. They are really nice fits. And in the winter, maybe you're going to wear it under a jumper or something like that. Or maybe you're just going to wear it out. But give them a try. True Classic. Where a medium's a medium and a large is a large. And the fitting is to you. Check it out. True Classic T-shirts delivered to your door. 25% off for you with the code Goldbridge. Get on it. Get on it. Thanks to True Classic. Grealish is winning this vote at the moment with 56%. I'll get over Harvey Barnes. I mean, to be honest with you, I think there's a better example of Grealish that you might want to consider, which I'll do in a minute. Harvey Barnes has had a very disappointing half and a bit of a disappointing season. It's a shame he's not kicked on, really. I always quite liked Harvey Barnes, but watching him in that first 45 minutes, I think he's a player that needs to learn to pass again because I know he can score a goal, Harvey Barnes, but... I quite like him as a creative winger, and he's refused the cross a few times in that first half. Almiron or Trossard, says Alex. I'm going to end this poll because that's my poll. That's my poll. You've nicked it. I actually think there is a real... I know it's a bit sensational because of what Grealish said about Almiron, but I really think over the last 6 months... Almiron and Grealish is well worth a look and get involved in the poll. If Anthony, the expected attacking trio to face West Ham is Rashford, Ronaldo and Anthony, says Sam, who is quoting Manchester Evening News, which I ain't got a problem with that. I think it's difficult to justify bringing Sancho back in. I've done an old firm watch along before, Matthew. I've done it before. Almiron's got 72% of the vote. Oh, poor Jack. He's getting absolutely bantered there. But you know what? That's why I did it. Not to banter Grealish, but because Almiron this season has been bloody fantastic in a Newcastle side that really, we know Newcastle are going to make their way up, and we know that Newcastle have got money, but they're well exceeding their progression path with what they've got. And Almiron's been bloody brilliant this year. I mean, that goal he scored against Fulham was a headline, but he's playing really, really well. Mark, will the United owners build a new stadium before they go for United? Your thoughts? Who said they're going? 69 Gaming. No, 66 Gaming. Oh, I don't know why I said 69. I don't think they're going to go, mate. So I don't think there's a stadium in the pipeline. And I don't think they're going to go. Hi Mark, I wonder where can I buy the new TUS Christmas jumper, says Ray Dan Games. Well, they are selling out fast. They might have already gone actually. Let me just log on. United Stand, just type in United Stand Shopify or go to the latest United Stand video. It'll be in the video description there. I can tell you we've got, when did we start selling them? Last Friday to Saturday. 250 left. So, yeah, latest United Stand video. Or just type in United Stand Shopify and you'll see it easy as. Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody just asked me, can you check on Trossard? I mean, he doesn't live next door, but I'm pretty sure Trossard is available for free next summer. I'll confirm it to you now. I mean, you never know sometimes these contracts can be, they can get it wrong. But yeah, contract expires on June the 30th, 2023. Oh. Club's got an option for another year. So it's not. Fair play to Brighton then, because I always felt that Man United were the only club that do that. But he's got an option for another year. So he's got 18 months. If they want to sell him, they'll sell him in the summer then. But he won't be going for free. He's got an option for another year. Almiron smashed Grealish there. Players are coming out for the second half. Mendy's on for Leicester. Trossard's got Chelsea written all over him. That doesn't mean literally. It's not like that person in the chat seeing him naked and he wrote Chelsea on his body. It means like he's a good fit for Chelsea. I think Casido will end up going to Chelsea. Oh, we're off for the second half and I've not hit the timer. Yeah, bloody Pratt. Who are you? A Pratt. That's what you are. Right, let me just whack in here. Man City on the attack straight away, but Leicester have won it. Let's get timer on screen. 18, 19, 20. There we go. De Bruyne. Oh, I tell you what, Leicester need to switch on. This is sometimes the most dangerous time to catch a team that's been... Rodri, just wide. I was just saying that. This is sometimes the time to catch a team out that's been parking the bus. First minute after half-time, where they're not quite back focused. And Man City have very nearly done it. Lovely ball by Bernardo Silva and... Ward seems to know it's wide. City will knock 4 past Leicester in the second half, says Joe. Well, I won't watch till 90 minutes if that happens. I'm only here for a shock. I'm not here to watch Man City bore us to death with another straightforward win. You didn't do the predictions at half time. Okay, so Bournemouth against Tottenham at 3 o'clock. You know what, that could be anything. I'll go with a Tottenham win 2-1, but They're so bad at the moment. That could be anything. Brentford against Wolves. Again, very hard to predict. Brentford have been getting smacked up a lot recently, but Wolves can't score. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got a 0-0 there. Brighton against Chelsea. I think that's the sort of difficult game that Chelsea will go and win, like they did against Palace a few weeks ago. So I'd probably say Chelsea 2-1. Crystal Palace against Southampton. I'd always fancy Southampton to get beat away. And Palace are good at home, so 2-0 Palace. Newcastle against Villa. Look, Emery doesn't start till next week, so I think that's a tough game for Villa. It'll be tougher for Newcastle against Villa than it would have been with Gerrard in charge, but I'd still say Newcastle will win that. I'll probably say 2-1. Fulham at Everton. Fulham Everton at 5:30. I will say fancy Everton to win that, but I'll go 1-1. Don't know how that works. And free kick to Man City here, De Bruyne. Liverpool against Leeds tonight. Liverpool 3-0. Marsh gets sacked on Monday. And then tomorrow, Arsenal straightforward win against Forest 2 or 3-0. And United to beat West Ham 2-0. Ian Beale with a perm. If you know, you know, says Jay. I'd had a few last night. I was being defensive of Anthony and I'd had a few. I've had a word with Ray and he's not took it very well. Have you watched Andor? It's actually kind of decent after Book of Boba Fett was kind of stale, says IMB. I've not really watched it yet. And hi Mark, can you do an Oldham accent? Love the show, says Damon. I don't really know the Oldham accent. Let's just see what happens with this free kick. It's Kevin De Bruyne. It's a lovely position. And again, we've not really spoken about this. How do Man City break this Leicester side down when they can't do it from open play, set pieces, and set pieces aren't just corners, are they? I'll tell you a really good Netflix series I've watched recently. De Bruyne, oh, fucking hell. That's just world class. It's just absolutely world class. That's just world class by De Bruyne. It's annoying. It's very annoying. And that's the problem. You do all that defensive work. It's put it right. I mean, that's probably one of the best free kicks I've ever seen. It's in the top corner off the post. It's just unstoppable. It's one of the... Watch that free kick. It's one of the best free kicks you will ever see. It is world... It's not even world class. It's right in the top corner off the post. It's unbelievable. You can't save that. Two goalkeepers can't save that. That free kick needs clipping up and showing to everybody forever. You will never see a free kick better than that. That is absolutely unstoppable, unbelievable brilliance. Yeah, can't say anything about it. It's annoying because Leicester are defended really well, but that's the problem against Man City, isn't it? You can stop them scoring from open play, but from a set piece, they've got that. It's just a monster free kick. Unbelievable. Unsavable, says Elliot. It's unbelievable. It's just absolutely, And look, I've never got anything bad to say about De Bruyne. I think he's boring because I think Man City are boring, but boring in a world-class way is not boring, is it? It's just unbelievable free kick. There are no superlatives. Unbelievable, Jeff, says Alpha Gaming. I love a good free kick. And you can't hit that better. I actually think the fact that it hits the post makes it even better. People will say, well, if it goes in the top corner without touching the post, it's a better free kick. It's more savable. Hitting the post and going in is better than a clean top corner. People say top bins is the best thing you can do. It's not. That's the best. Because it's further away from the goalkeeper's dive. That is the best free kick. Top corner off the post. Unstoppable. And now it's a question of whether Leicester can do anything on the break, because second goal and it's over. It's not over yet. Second goal and it's over. All because Grealish gets knocked over by the winds, his face palm. Well, maybe we're talking about Grealish at half time, and maybe that's the value of Grealish to Pep. Maybe they're on the bus home and they're saying, look, doesn't matter that you're bang average with the ball. You're winning me free kicks and we're winning games because of it. Grealish is one of the most fouled players over the last 3 years in the Premier League. Now, whether he is taking a tumble or whether he is the most fouled player, it doesn't matter. You still get the free kick. De Bruyne's good, but Bruno's better, Mark, says Max. No, he's not. I'd love him to be, but he's not. We're not on 800k yet. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Everyone's welcome. Bottom right hand corner. We are on the road to 800k. What is that? Into the box. Dive, Vardy, dive. Wins a corner. That racing guy says Grealish is an Olympic diver and he's a gold medalist to boot. Roger Smith says any shot that goes in off the crossbar makes it 10 times better. But you know what, Roger? There's a corner for Leicester here. I want to come back to that because it gives me goosebumps, even though it's Man City and I don't like them. I can appreciate quality. Tillemans! Oh, he's hit the Demba! Oh, we nearly saw a worldie there! Oh, it was Bradford, it was Beckham, it was Scholes, it was Maddison, it was Tillemans. He dinks it to the edge. Tillemans hits it on the volley. And I think the keeper saves it. I think Ederson saves it. My only criticism of this, it's straight at the keeper. If he puts that in either corner, it's a goal. Oh, you feel for Leicester there. That would have been a worldie. Straight down the keeper's neck. Would have been unsavable if it had been in the corners. Shame. Anyway, what I was going to come back to is there is this myth that the best shot you can do is a clean shot. And obviously into the bottom corner or into the top corner. There's this myth that that's the best finish you can do, whether it's low or high, bottom corner. It's not. The best finish you can do is off the post because that's the widest you can go. If you put it into the top corner smooth, it's a very, very good finish. But if you put it into the top corner and it goes in off the post, it's a better finish because it's further away from any dive. So, some people think that the best finish is one that doesn't hit the post. It's not. The best finish is the one that hits the post because it's the widest angle you can do. I wish that Tillemans one had gone in. Either side of Ederson and that's a goal. What a free kick it was by De Bruyne though. I'm still thinking about it. That's goal of the month for me. Unless you get a goal like Tillemans. Remember Tony Yeboah when he used to win goal of the month every month for the first, I think he won it for the first 2 months. That's surely a foul by Grealish. Oh, yeah. It's a foul if it's on him, but if he does it, it's absolutely fine, ref, isn't it? Oh, who is this referee? Absolute pillock. What's his name? Give me his name. Arsenal fans are going to really not like this referee. Robert Jones. Oh, I thought it was a made-up name on FIFA. I thought that was just a crap ref that the Canadian coders had made up. He's real. What are you having for tea, Mark? Says Gav. I think it's chilli. Chilli. Tillemans is too good for Leicester, says Donny. Well, he's out of contract in the summer. He's going somewhere for free. If I was Liverpool or Arsenal or United, I'd offer Leicester 15 million. Get him in January. Still a bargain, isn't it? So, to be fair, Leicester could have been 1-1. It should have gone in, really, because De Bruyne's is a worldie, and then if Tillemans scores a worldie, it equals it out, doesn't it? Alvarez is better than Nunez. I think Alvarez is a good player. I think he's going to have a problem in the Premier League because of how small he is. In a game like this, I think he needs to play off somebody. if they're going to, you know, he's not really had a sniff in this game because Leicester are just parking the bus. Who's your favourite referee? It seems you don't like any of them, says K10. I like the referee where I don't know his name. Yeah. We had a good referee for United a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know what his name was. That's the best referee. The worst referee is when you know their name. Aguero was small, says Elijah. Yeah, but I think Alvarez is not there yet, is he? He's not Aguero. Look at this technique from Tielemans. It's a great free kick. It's a great shot, but it wasn't a free kick anyway. It was a volley. Heightist, says Owain. No, I'm not heightist. I think Alvarez is a good player, but I think in a game like this, he's pretty irrelevant, isn't he? Because Leicester are playing with 3 centre-backs. They're playing very close together, and they've got 2 CDMs in front of them. There's not really the space for Alvarez to run into or do those triangles, so he's been pretty redundant in this game. He won't be redundant in every game. Vardy. I think we're all Vardy there. Just had a few words with the referee. Bruno Guimaraes walks into any top 4 starting 11, says Ali. I'm really interested about this Bruno Guimaraes thing. I'm really interested in this. Apparently Bruno Guimaraes is being targeted by Chelsea and Liverpool. I don't get that. Surely the whole point of Newcastle is that they won't have to sell their players because they're going to be the next big thing. I'd be surprised if Bruno Guimaraes leaves to go to Chelsea. I mean, look, if a player wants to go, a player wants to go. I get that. But the Newcastle journey is surely not about selling players. Maybe I'll be wrong. Because if Newcastle are going to sell their best players, well, you're never going to be what the world's richest club is meant to be. Rayan says, can you respond to this so I know you're real? How does that work? Liverpool don't want him. I mean, he's only been at Newcastle. He's not even been at Newcastle a year. They bought him in January. The referee was shushing Vardy because Vardy was basically telling him to F off. And I mean, he could have been booked, to be fair. Thoughts on Edison Alvarez to United, Mark? It's not going to happen, Harry. Oh, you're talking about the Ajax guy, aren't you? Not going to happen either. I thought you were talking about the Man City striker. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right hand corner, so it is. We are currently only 400 subscribers away from 800,000. We could do it today. Subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and share the video. Let's get some newbies in. Mark, Ronaldo has been paying pundits to defend him, says Shallow. Who? Because most of them don't defend him, so I don't know who. I don't think he needs to pay Roy Keane to defend him, do you? Oh, I've got a bit of hamstring pain. I feel like I'm playing cricket, rubbing my ball on the back of my leg. Yeah, I suppose that's the problem, isn't it? Having to live in Newcastle might not be for everybody, but look, they're the richest club in the world. Surely that's the point of going to Newcastle, is not to leave. Here's De Bruyne. Lovely ball out wide. Cross comes in, back post, and goal kick. Are England out of the 2020 summer? I haven't been taking any notice of it. I just know that there was talk of England going out. Who do I think is going to win the World Cup? I've not given it a lot of thought yet, and I've not really deep dived into all of the teams, so any prediction I give is going to be very unfair, but I'm going to go with France. How are England still in it then? Because I thought whoever lost between England and Australia went out. Oh, Harvey Barnes. Oh, you're spoiling us, Harvey. Too much. I've never been to Newcastle. How much would you pay for Kevin De Bruyne if he came to United, says Tiger Claus? I mean, look, I would bring him to Manchester United. I think he's that level of player, even though you've got people like Bruno. I would, there's certain players that, like, do United need a centre-back if Varane's fit? No, they don't. But I'd still bring, there's still one or two centre-backs I'd still bring to Manchester United because of their quality. Do you think we will buy someone in January, says Fuzan? I do. It's a complete guess, but I do. France have been horrendous recently, says Cohen. Yeah, but France... I thought France were pretty crap in the 2018 World Cup as well, but they just grew into the tournament. They're a pretty good tournament team, aren't they, France? I hope they don't win it. I don't want to see back-to-back winners of the World Cup, but that would be my prediction. What charity are you going to raise money for, says Gil? Same one as I always do, which is for terminal illness. Marie Curie Centre. I'd like to see Brazil or Argentina win it, Paul. I would. I'm hopeful that everybody who's hyping them up is going to be right. But there might be a big gap between Brazil and Argentina and the European sides. It's a bit like Serie A, isn't it? And I know Napoli are doing well, but there's some good teams in Serie A, and then they come up against the other European leagues and they're not quite there. So that might happen with Brazil and Argentina. We don't know how they're going to do. Messi's in good form, says the racing guy. Who do you think is the best player in the world right now, says Lucas? On pure form, I don't think they're the best players in the world, but on pure form, I'd probably say... Well, De Bruyne is playing very well this season. I think, that free kick is amazing, but some of his creativity, his crossing. I think De Bruyne has always been a really good player, but I think playing with Erling Haaland, you get to see a different De Bruyne. Like his crossing ability, which he probably hasn't really been able to do over the last few years as much. I mean, we have seen some lovely crosses from De Bruyne, but with Haaland in the team, I think you get more out of De Bruyne. It mixes up it for him. I think De Bruyne is probably the best player in the world at the moment. I think Haaland's been fantastic, but I mean, Messi's doing all right at the moment, isn't he, as well? The trouble with Messi is you look at the league he's doing it in. And I know he's done it in the Champions League, but the French league is such shit, isn't it? It's why Mbappe stays there, I don't know. And the same with Bayern. I only judge Bayern and PSG on Champions League form because I can't judge them on their domestic form. It's a bloody one-horse race. The carousel should be working. Sorry if it's not. Let's start it up. Hi, Mark, said somebody in the chat, which I can't read. Can you say hi to my friend? Yeah, well, that sounds like Bell End, so I'm not going to read that. I mean, why is that not a yellow card? If this ref is rubbish, isn't he? It's not Man City's fault, and it wasn't Southampton's fault last week, but he's a crap ref. Leicester need Schmeichel back, says the Shogun. Mate, it wouldn't matter who was in goal. They can bring Tim Flowers back as well. They weren't saving that free kick. I mean, look, I do think Leicester miss Schmeichel a lot, but nobody's saving that free kick, and that's why Leicester are losing 1-0 here. Any wild card selections for England, Mark? Jay, what, wild card and Southgate? Those words don't belong together. Mr. Conservative, he'll have had his World Cup squad picked for 2 years. Wild card, probably Tyrone Mings. He'll bring him back because he's played for him before. Do you think that free kick was savable by any goalkeeper? No. And I think anybody who thinks it was savable is doing a massive disservice to the quality of the free kick by De Bruyne. I don't think there's a keeper that can save that. I think the only way you save that is you move to that side of the goal and then he'll put it in the other side. I don't think it's savable. The only way you can save it is put yourself in an unnatural position that you'd have to know it was going there, basically. And you'd have to move there before it was kicked. And then De Bruyne would put it in the other side. So that's the only way you can save that. Unsavable free kick. I think Ronaldo does start for Portugal now. There was talk of Jota starting, but obviously he's injured. I think he's out of the World Cup. And I hope we don't lose any more. I mean, you always have players missing from the World Cup, but I think we're in danger of losing a few more because of when this World Cup is. Smack in the middle of the season is going to lead to more injuries for the World Cup because teams are not in that wind down zone. What normally happens is, the World Cup's coming in the summer, and in March you might be mid-table or whatever, and you just go, right, I'm going to be a bit careful here. Will Australia make it out of their group, Mark? Says Hi Jack. I don't know who you've got in your group, mate. So I don't know. I think, you know what? Someone said it's been a boring game. I think Leicester deserve a bit of credit. I think they've done the job that needs to be done. And to be honest, if you were playing Man City in the future and they don't have Haaland, I think this is the blueprint. I don't think Leicester have counter-attacked anywhere very good, but Man City have really struggled to create chances, which is unusual. And they've struggled because they haven't had Haaland through the middle that they can whip these balls into. So they've had to try and play through Leicester, and Leicester have closed the gaps really well. Leicester are losing because Man City's worldie went in. Man City are boring, but that's only if you think it. I always found Barcelona boring. It's just not my style of football. I find it tedious, but it's not like Sam Allardyce football. It takes amazing coaching to play the football that Pep Guardiola does. I prefer Klopp's. I think City are more entertaining with Haaland in the team because they mix it up more. Kean's mate, I'm not talking about Man United. Why? This is that's football. Why do people have to take a comment and make it about something I didn't say? Like somebody just said there, yeah, because your football's been so good for the last 10 years. Didn't say that. Not talking about Man United. I'm talking about Man City on That's Football. And I'm saying that I find their football quite boring. It's a stone cold fact in my mind. It's got nothing to do with Man United. We're shit. I mean, we're playing a bit better now under Ten Hag, and I hope it'll continue. But I can have an opinion on Man City being boring and not compare it to Man United and make it about rivalry. It's not about rivalry. I just think they're a bit boring. But I think, to be fair to City, they've struggled without Haaland because Leicester have known what to do. Leicester wouldn't have had it as easy if Haaland was playing. Is that free kick again? Yeah, you're never saving that. Maddison had a good view of it, lying down. Reece James is out of the World Cup. I don't know whether that's been confirmed. Kanji's coming off for Diaz. Well, Chelsea wanted Alvarez, didn't they, in the summer from Ajax? Whether they'd go back in for it or not, I don't know. Because that was Tuchel. I can't see Leicester getting an equaliser here, can you? I can see it. Oh, I'm getting a right headache. Oh, sorry, I'm just going... Sorry, I'll sort it out. Easily done. It's not 1-1. They're nowhere near the goal. I quite like doing a bit of trimming of the chat. There's Grealish. Look at that. Tielemans will get booked because Grealish has made a meal of it. Let's have a look. Was it a bad foul? No. That's not, I mean, that's no worse than the foul that De Bruyne did, and he's going to book him for it. It's the same foul that De Bruyne did, and he's going to book him for it because Grealish makes a meal out of it. Oh no, did he book him? I don't know whether he did. Maybe he didn't. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh on the ref there. Didn't book him. Good. Would be very inconsistent from the referee if he did. 15 minutes to go. What I would say about this game is it's absolutely flown by. Mark, would you take Rashford to the World Cup? I think Rashford's going to go to the World Cup, isn't he? Should we do a poll on that? Should Rashford... He is. I think he 100% is going to go. High boot by Ruben Diaz there. Surely that's a foul. I think he's given a throw-in. He has given a foul. So Maddison can whip a cross in here. John Stone's back. Yeah, we needed him back for England, really. Right, Maddison with the free kick. 15 minutes to go. Whips the cross in. It's a good one. There's people on the floor. And Man City clear it. Iheanacho's on now. I'm not doing Liverpool Leeds tonight because it's Saturday night. I hate 8 o'clock games, and the only time I'd watch it if it was if it was Manchester United. Halloween weekend, I'm going out. It's on Talk Sport though if you want to listen to it, because it's normally the Mark Goldbridge show on a Saturday night, but they've got the rights to Liverpool Leeds, so I think they've made a mistake. I think the public would rather listen to me, but they've got Liverpool Leeds on Talk Sport tonight if you want to listen to it. Would you take Tuchel for the England job, says Russell. What a shit shot that was by Iheanacho. That's Leicester's big chance of the game. He's played him in. He used to play for Man City. I remember when Man City fans said Iheanacho's better than Rashford. Oh my God. It's not even on target. I thought it was a rubbish shot that Ederson saved. It's not even on target. Would I take Tuchel for the England job? I'd take Peppa Pig for the England job over Southgate. Of course I'd take Tuchel. You'd have to go pretty far down to find a manager that I wouldn't take over Southgate, to be honest. There's hundreds of managers I'd take over Southgate. Where do you think Man United will finish this season, says Lewis? 5th. Hoping for higher, but 5th. Man City on the break here. De Bruyne is going to go wide there to Silva. Good run. Oh, waiting for the ball. These Leicester players are bloody rubbish. You're playing Man City. You can't wait for the ball to come to you. You've got to go and bloody get it. Who's that midfielder there? Comes loose and he's like waiting for it. And surprise, surprise, Man City player comes from bloody nowhere and wins it. So infuriating. I'm not even I'm not even managing them. Get on your bloody toes and go to the ball. Would you take Ollie over Southgate? Mic drop, I don't know. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right hand corner, we are, I don't know whether we're going to do it or not, with 13 minutes to go, we are 250 subscribers away from 800k. So please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner, we might do it. Trent Alexander-Arnold or Reece James? I like both. I do like both, but I've always said that Reece James is the better right back. I don't think he's the better going forward, but he's better defensively and he's very good going forward, so he's a more balanced right back for me. Do you think Martial will get his second Ballon d'Or? Says K10. I've got no idea what you're talking about. Well done for the comment, though. Apparently Napoli are 1-0 up. They're playing Sassuolo, who I can never pronounce. And they're comfortably at the top of the league at the moment, Napoli. In fact, they'll be 6 points clear at the top, having played their game before Milan today, if they were to win today, which I think they probably will. Saliba or Martinez, says Joe. Well, they'd be the perfect centre-back pairing because one plays off the right and one plays off the left. I wouldn't swap Martinez for anybody. So as a United fan, I'm going to say Martinez, which I'm sure Arsenal fans would say Saliba as well for the same reason. I hope Napoli can keep it up, Donny. I think everybody wants Napoli to keep going, and I hope that they can keep it going because they've been fantastic. But it's very difficult to keep that going for 9 months. And who knows? I mean, bring it back to the Premier League. Will Arsenal come back from the World Cup break the same Arsenal? You just don't know what that 6 weeks break's going to do to you. It's a massive break. And, you think about what a team can be like before the international break and after the international break. Look at Arsenal last year. They lost their first 3 games. International break, came back and won the next 3. So a 2-week break from Premier League football can lead to big changes. Imagine what a 6-week break is going to do. And it'd be interesting to see what it does to Napoli and teams like Arsenal. Foden's on the pitch, yeah, you should be able to see it in a minute. If they've got a little arrow on their back, like Iheanacho, number 14, that means he's come on as a sub. So Leicester have made 3 subs there. As you can see, Foden's come on and Diaz has come on for Man City. That's why they've got the arrow on their back. And obviously, De Bruyne has got the ball on his shoulder because he scored that goal. 61% of you said that Rashford should go to the World Cup. I think he will go to the World Cup. I think it's absolutely nailed on. Maddison. He's got to pass that. Oh, for God's sake. Rubbish shot. Who do I think is the best set piece taker in the Premier League? Well, I think we've seen it today. It's 100%. It's Kevin De Bruyne. There's no doubt about it. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold's probably the best free kick taker in the Premier League, but set piece includes corners and indirect free kicks, and I think De Bruyne is the better all-rounder. Ward-Prowse is good, but, you know, just because we've got an English player that's good doesn't mean that you discount De Bruyne. Another free kick to Leicester here. Another opportunity to start whipping a cross in. Ahmad starting for Sunderland today, says Parker. I bloody love it if Leicester get a late equaliser here. Penalties are set pieces as well, yeah. Good point. Oh, I feel a bit hungover from last night. I really just feel like a cup of tea and a Netflix. Not Netflix and chill. Netflix and a cup of tea and actually watch Netflix. Yeah, I feel like I had a few last night. Right, cross coming in here. Maddison. Set piece. Needs to find someone's head. Man City have got people who are good in the air though, haven't they, to be fair? Rodri's massive. Good cross. Oh, and that was a free header for Castagnier. I mean, Leicester have had a couple of chances in the last few minutes. I think he should do better there. Oh, he should score. Tell you what, he should score that. That's a fullback's header, that is. Don't forget, everybody, I'm wearing one today. True Classic t-shirts. You can get 25% off delivered to your door with the code Goldbridge. Not Coldbridge, Goldbridge. That's a good name, though, Coldbridge. Goldbridge is the code. You can scan the QR code with your phone, or you can go through the link in the description. True Classic t-shirts and other things like polo shirts, etc. The big thing about them is that, you know, we all like a t-shirt and they've got really good fitting. So do check them out if you're someone who likes t-shirts. 25% off, fantastic fit. It's a Rashford header, eyes closed, says Chris. Subscribe account Mark says I'm subbing to everybody who subs to me. 150 subscribers away from 800k. We could do it. We've got 5 minutes to go. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. If you have subscribed, hit the share button. We might get new people in. If presented with the opportunity, would Goldbridge invest in a football club? I've been thinking about this for quite a while, and 100% I would love to get involved in a football club in one shape or form, preferably a lower league club. How that works, I don't know. I think Crawley Town have done some really interesting stuff. I know they've got a couple of the sidemen going and training with them. I think the football club that embraces social media is the football club that does well. Iheanacho had a great chance there. It was Daka that time. Good ball in. You see Iheanacho, he puts the cross in, actually. It's a good cross by Iheanacho. Ederson's held his ground perfectly. If Ederson had been coming for that, it could have been a goal. So another half chance for Leicester. I used to play Call of Duty, Eltar, and I liked it, but I think you've got to play a lot of Call of Duty to get good at it, because some people are brilliant. But no, you know what? I genuinely do think that if I was to get involved with a local football club in the lower leagues and you know, get involved in it, and we went all in on social media and everything, it can only be a good thing. I mean, look at what's happened with Wrexham, and I'm not saying on that level, but I think there are opportunities for these lower league clubs to really tap into the social media football world. I'd love to do it. I'd love to get involved, but I wouldn't be able to manage or anything like that. Check out Lincoln City. It's too much of a travel. It's got to be local. 4 minutes to go here, and it looks like it's going to be a very annoying result for the rest of the Premier League and Arsenal fans, because I do feel that Leicester could easily have got a point here today. And if you take the De Bruyne worldie away, they've got a point. But this is the thing about Man City. They're relentless. And even when you'd fancy them not to get something, they'll get it. Mark, I just Googled your net worth and you could definitely invest in a club. You're minted, mate. And Amanda, those things, I was looking at that a few weeks ago and all I can say is not by half. Absolute nonsense. I had a net worth of $1 million 4 years ago. I was doing 2 jobs at the same time, so God knows where that was. Oh, another shot. Iheanacho. Get one in the back of the net, said the frustrated fisherman. He shouldn't be shooting from there. Iheanacho should not be shooting from there. He's a bloody idiot. He should have laid that off to Harvey Barnes. Three minutes to go. Binox County, says Jizz. E. Cheltenham Town. They're not too far away. Trying to think of clubs like close to me. Walsall's not far away. Solihull Moors is not far away. Cheltenham's not that far away. I wonder if you can type that into Google. It must be. You can type most things. Football clubs near me. You can. Here we go. I don't want shitty little clubs. Hockley Heath FC. I'm not interested in that. I want real clubs. Worcester, have they got a team? I mean, there is Aston Villa and Birmingham City. That's probably a little bit big. Coventry, a bit big. Redditch, not far. Bristol's too far, mate. Skegness is bloody miles away. May as well do Lincoln. Well, it's looking like it's going to be a Man City win. Leicester struggling to get out their own half here. And one thing Man City can do is defend a lead as well. A terrible ball out there as well. Man City could be on for another goal here. Three minutes added on. Not a lot. Not a lot. See if we can hit 800k. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. That could be the most exciting part of this. Ooh, we're 70 subscribers away from 800k. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Is there anyone left who can subscribe? Bottom right hand corner to do it. Could hit 800k before full time. I'd love to be involved in Birmingham City. I think they're up for sale for about 30 million quid. I haven't got 30 million quid. I haven't got 30,000. But Birmingham City would be a very good... I think Birmingham City could work. I really do. Birmingham's massive. You know, Manchester's got 2 or 3 teams. Liverpool's got 2 teams. I'd love to buy York City. It's a lovely, lovely place, but it's bloody miles away. Cross comes in. You'd be surprised how much. Oh, no. Nearly an OG. I think Stones heads it onto Diaz. Oh, it's nearly gone in. Man City a bit jammy here today. Stones heads it into the back of Diaz and it goes just wide. You'd be surprised how much it would cost to buy a non-league football club as well. You're still talking millions. You don't make money off a football club either. This is probably it for Leicester. Corner. Maddison. Up in the air. They're going to get rid of that. And they're going to be on the break with De Bruyne. They love a good break. It's a 2v1. Gundogan's got to go back post. De Bruyne, he's probably waited too long. Oh, what a cross. No, but he'll keep it in. Cancelo. Into Grealish. He'll take a tumble here. 100%. Grealish is looking for a foul. Oh, no, he's not. He's lost it. Why do BT get rid of the time? Who? What idiot thinks about doing that? What is that all about? What prat at BT decides to turn off the timer and the score in the last minute? They've done it on purpose. What are they doing? They've done it on purpose. Why would you do that? I don't know how long there is to... Oh, look at my timer. All right, so we've got about 10 seconds left. At least we've got a bloody timer and score on. BT again. Do they do that on every game? Do they just turn... I'm here for 90 minutes. It's overtime. Anything else is overtime. Leicester still on the attack. Got to put the cross in. Not a great cross. Second ball. Whip it. Maddison. What is he blowing for when Leicester are on the attack? What referee? Absolute twat referee. I can't believe he's blown up. What's the timer say? So he blew up on 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Just let it go, mate. Let it go. Anyway, BT still haven't put the score up. So it was 1-0 to Manchester City. Very, very good performance from Leicester, but a little bit undeserved. I think they deserved the point, Leicester, but the goal was brilliant. Absolutely superb. Apparently we've hit 800k. I'm not ignoring that on purpose. I was just checking the end of the game there. 800k. Well done, everyone. That's an amazing achievement to hit after a very dull, boring game. But thanks, everyone. That's Footballs for Everybody, of course. Appreciate that. And pat on the back time. 800k, we move for 1 million, don't we? Remember, we're going to do every World Cup watch along on this channel. We've got some really exciting stuff for you as well that won't just be in here. It'll be in different surroundings, so lovely. Have you watched Welcome to Wrexham? I haven't watched it yet, Red. It is on my list to watch. Don't forget, True Classic t-shirts. Check it out on your way out. Goldbridge, 25% off is the code. Fantastic fitting t-shirts. Give them a try. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Thanks very much for watching. The chart show's coming up on the United Stand early evening, and I'll be back tomorrow for Manchester United against West Ham. Well done, mates, says Tumbleweed. Well done to all of you lot. Thanks, everyone.